Welcome to Dr. Jester Rants, and I'm gonna rant about this. From the New York Post, who is Pascal Ferrier, the woman accused of sending Ricin to Trump? This is another example that TDS is a very, very dangerous and bad disease. And like I've said to a few other TDSs, please have yourself checked out because you are sick. You have TDS. You think that because you stepped on a Lego brick, Lego brick, is that it's Trump's fault. You stubbed your toe on some wall, door, table, chair, it's Trump's fault. You fell up on your bunghole, it's Trump's fault. You forgot to put on a lubricant on your dildo while you shoved it up your bunghole, that's Trump's fault. That's what happens when you suffer from TDS. The girlfriend cheated on you, it's Trump's fault. Your boyfriend cheated on you, it's Trump's fault. You drank way too much soy milk, Trump's fault. That's practically it. In fact, that's the same excuse that SJWs and feminists use because their girlfriend cheated on them. It's the white male's fault. The same excuse that Nazis also use. They stepped on a Lego, and the Jews' fault. It's never their fault. Never the lack of attention. Never the self-accountability. They are practically everybody act exactly the same way. And what happens if you point it out to them? They utterly deny it. They think they are not doing the exact same thing. Even if you change their sentences to show exactly what the other side says, just by changing one word or the other, what do they say? Nothing. They either ignore it or call you insane for actually thinking that. Even though it's right in front of them. It's kind of like when you are trying to train a dog or something, at least back in the day. I don't know if it's still used the method, but I remember my, I think it was grandmother, back in the day telling me when I was a kid that if you wanted the dog not to shit around on your home, you had to pick the dog and shove the dog's face up on the dog's shit in the middle of the room and then shove it back onto the place you want him to shit on. That's practically it. You shove it, you shove their own shit in front of their face, and it doesn't seem to register on their brain. Good lord. The Canadian woman charged with sending a Ricin-laced letter to the President Trump apparently tweeted a hashtag supportive of killing the Commander-in-Chief less than 2 weeks ago. Pascal Ferrier, Quebec, of course, Quebec, was arrested Sunday at the border crossing between Fort Erie, Ontario, and Buffalo, New York, after allegedly mailing a letter addressed to Trump containing the highly toxic it's the coffee. It's the excess little gas coming out and try. Okay, coffee. Highly toxic substance according to CBS News. She was carrying. Okay, that was a bit weirdly written. The way it's written here, it's kind of suggesting that CBS made a claim that it's a highly toxic substance, that Ricin is a highly toxic substance, when in fact, that's a common knowledge. She was carrying a gun at the time of her arrest at the Peace Bridge crossing, CNN said. Was it legal gun? An account appearing to belong to Ferrier, 53, tweeted in response to a since deleted post on September 9th. I just read this tweet, I agree, nobody did anything, it's time to change, and the hashtag with the thingy over here, which I'm not going to say. She also allegedly tweeted the same day to someone, I have a new name for Trump? Jesus Christ, at TDS. The account bears the name of Pascal Ferrier and lists Laval, Quebec as the location. In her bio, Ferrier describes herself as a techno-creative nomad. Does she have pronouns on her profile? The little flag, a rose, a hammer and sickle. Well, considering everything happened here, I have a feeling that Twitter may end up giving her the blue check mark soon enough. Ferrier had been living in the US last year, was deported back to Canada after authorities found she overstayed a 6-month visa, had committed a crime while in America, the New York Times reported, citing a senior intelligence official. Court records showed that in March 2019 she was arrested in Texas on tampering with a government record charges. What the fuck? But the Times said she was also busted for possession of an unlicensed weapon and resisting arrest. Ah, of course. She was found to be carrying a fake driver's license, the official told the outlet. Look, if you're going to live in another country, 1, do so legally, because it is better for you to get in there like you're getting inside someone's home. You only get there if you're invited, and not breaking and entering like these illegals do. 2, once you're in there, supposing you did it legally, don't break the law. It's kind of when you go inside someone's home, you don't go to the fridge, steal everything, shit on the floor, pee on the outside of the toilet, and then puke everything else in the home and then leave. No, don't do that, please. Be respectful. You're in somebody's home. You're a guest. Jesus Christ. Why is it so difficult for people to understand that? Ha! Tampering with a government record, charge was dismissed that May after she spent 20 days in jail, which is when officials uncovered her visa issue. The Facebook page under the name of Pascal Ferrier describes herself as self-employed, and sources told CTV News that she worked as a computer programmer. Oh god. Please don't tell me she's a gamer designer. Meanwhile, a Facebook business page called La Techno Creative Nomade, run by that same Ferrier profile, posted in French about being in Texas in June 2019 and being disappointed that items were made in places like China and Mexico. If I'm in USA, I want to buy made in USA, a translated version of the post said. The poison-tinted letter addressed to Trump was detected at a government facility that screens mail addressed to the White House and the president. 2 tests were done to confirm the presence of ricin, which has no known antidote. Ferrier is also suspected of sending other ricin-filled letters to police in Texas. We believe the total of 6 letters were sent, 1 to the White House and 5 to Texas. Holy shit. Corporal? Is it corporal or captain? I'm sorry, I do not know this acronym. I don't know. I'm sorry. Sorry, got it wrong. Sorry about that. Charles Poirier, the spokesman to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police Quebec Division, told CBC News. RCMP officers were searching a condominium in St. Hubert on Monday, but would not say who. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is going on? Say how the residence was linked to Ferrier. Ferrier is due to appear in federal court in Buffalo Tuesday afternoon. Do you actually think that your letter, sending a letter like that to the president, would actually reach him? You're going to, the chances are you're going to kill the postal officer, you're going to kill everybody who touches it, and even the person, the poor person, the poor intern who's at the White House screening that shit, and not the president. And secondly, but the most important part is, don't do something stupid like this. Look, I know you don't like President Trump, don't go and do anything like that, don't kill anybody because of you have TDS or some other nonsense. For instance, when there's a president or a leader or somebody that I don't like, the best action you have to take that leader out is when it comes to the election, you go there, you cast your own vote to somebody else. And that's it. That's what you do. You never act violently. You don't do anything like this. And don't do anything related to poisons or bombs or whatever. Don't do any of that. The best way to achieve something is through your vote. Don't ever, ever, ever do anything like this. You don't like somebody in power? Don't do this. Just wait for the election. When it gets the day of the election, you go on your happy Mary with your tail tucked up your bunghole. Get there, present your documents. Yes, because you need an ID. Even in a shithole like the one I'm living here, everybody has ID, because otherwise you can't vote. You go there, present your ID. And when you get there, you press your vote in there, you write a button or whatever method you use to vote. Go there, vote, cast your vote, go back to your home, wait for the results, and hope that the idiot in chief, that is in chief of your own country, gets toppled down because of the vote, of the popular vote. Or, in case of America, the electoral college or whatever. That's what you should do. And another thing, this is basically on part of my education of the minor in forensics that I had, is that women have a tendency to prefer more indirect methods to kill somebody. They prefer poisons. That's why there is a very high chance that when there is poison involved, when somebody dies and there's poison involved, that the chances are that the perpetrator is a woman. That's what they usually do. They don't like to get their hands dirty. And then again, it's kind of understandable, because a male is physically, in overwhelming amount of cases, stronger than a woman. So that's why when they go and attack somebody, they usually do with a poison. Even between themselves, when women against women, they still prefer the mostly indirect method, while males prefer more on the violent side. They are more violent, for instance, explosions, guns, knives, and things like that. So males tend to prefer the more violent approach, and women the more indirect approach, that is poisons. So I don't know what's going on with the mind of these TDSs. Seriously, it's annoying. Idiots. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this video, because it's definitely difficult fighting against YouTube's algorithm. Hey, I actually said algorithm properly-ish. Anyway, thank you for watching. Good night.